He's managed to get himself on the inside, but he's caught up on the curve. Sean Allen, the outside special. We've had a huge crash. This can't be real. I think he might have the strong done finally. Even Warwick gives him no space. He's in the wall. Turn 480, he's taken out Bruce Dean as well. Oh, big moment there. Kurt Stenberg on his route. Big crash in turn 4. That is an unfortunate huge crash. The huge wiggle on thought he was clear. The late move, final corner. That's the death.
Hello and welcome to round 9 of the Automobilista Supercars Championship Super 2 Series, live once again from Hidden Valley Raceway in Darwin. My name is Kurt Stenberg, because it hasn't changed, and joining me in the box as per usual is Colin Warwick. How are you going?
Yeah, good mate. I certainly hope your name hasn't changed.
It definitely hasn't changed.
You know, looking forward to this round. Should be good. The whole back-to-back thing is I quite like. So it's good to see drivers that improve. Some people still at the same pace. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone moves up a few grid spots and can challenge the usual top 5. So see how we go.
Definitely will be, and we've got a few new runners this week as well, plus a few returnees, and yeah, everyone's got an extra week of laps under their belt at this place, so we'll be interested to see if anyone can challenge the pace that we saw from RSM Latino last week. He was the dominant driver when we were here last time.
Yeah, by the looks of it already, I think Ben's improved a bit from last week, but yeah, Latino out in front again, proving his pace. Wasn't a fluke. He's pretty well drilled at this track, but he knows it like back of his hand. It's one of his favourite tracks, as he said last week in his post-race interviews.
Yeah, it's always been a strong track for him, and him get his first 2 wins of the season here, even though he's led the championship for pretty much the whole season. So impressive that he's finally been able to do that. But a bit of a different format tonight. We've got the 2 longer races compared to last week. We had the 2 short ones and a longer one. We've got 2 sort of, well, they're not as long as the last week's long race, but they're both longish races, so will be a different kind of a race, I guess.
Yeah, and with the 2 split qualifying sessions for each race, I think that's a better option myself moving forward.
Yep, so we'll get the schedule up on the screen for everybody. So yeah, there you can see that we've got 2 qualifying sessions tonight. So we've got an extra qualifying session for race 2, so it's not progressive grid. So we're hoping that that will sort of reduce some of the desperation, and we've seen in the second race and third race, faster guys coming through, and so we've seen a lot of mistakes from front-running guys in this field that probably wouldn't expect, but you know, when there's short races, you've got to try and make your moves when you can. So those guys have been doing that, but yeah, it's caused a few issues.
With 3.5 minutes remaining, you see Ben's actually jumped to the top.
He has actually jumped to the top. We were watching him.
He backed that lap time up with a lap time that was fairly similar as he pushes on again and goes fast in the first sector. So Ben, he's picked up pretty much from where he left off from not last week, but the round before where he was at the front. He struggled a bit last week, so it's good to see him back at the front.
It is good to see him back at the front. He was very dominant pace-wise at Eastern Creek, but he couldn't get it done in the first Eastern Creek round. He managed to back it up when we were back there again, but last week he struggled a bit, told us he was getting used to a new rig, and this week he really seems to have improved. He improved over the course of the event last round, and seems to be improving again, so as he goes and improves his time once again, so yeah, he's going to be a tough one to beat.
I believe that's a now an official Super 2 lap record around this place.
It would be, yep. With the time RSM Latino did last week, so he would have bettered that one. We'll just have a look around the grounds. We've got Latino in second with 2 minutes left in this practice session. Brko in third. Expecting him to be strong tonight as well. Steve Warwick's in fourth in the garage. He'll be looking for a better night. Struggled a bit last week. Dean Licciardo in fifth. Matt Cecil's in sixth, and he had a few technical dramas last round, so hoping he can have a bit of a better run tonight. Liam Budd in seventh. Lachlan Horan in eighth. Stendy in ninth. He'll be looking to have another good result after his performance last round around here. We've had Brat return after a number of rounds absent, and he's in 10th, so expecting that he'll be a bit higher up as the races go on throughout the night, as he gets back to grips with that. But Sid goes in 10th, or 11th, sorry, he's a newcomer. Dodger in 12th, Aiden Sykes in 13th, Pollard in 14th, and Claimbite is our last car, and he hasn't yet to set a lap time in this session, so it'll be interesting to see how everyone goes in qualifying, whether this leaderboard changes a bit.
Yeah, I think what you see now is pretty much what you'll get in terms of order. Just how the order shakes out will probably might be a little bit different, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. We've got 33 seconds until we find out.
Cuz is on the match here, we'll see if he can improve. Looks like he broke a little bit too late. Slide the car into the rear, into the hairpin there. Coming up to the second sector.
He's very close to his PB. He was 1,000th of his PB in both the sectors, so
yeah.
Pretty much matched his best lap, so we'll see.
Incredible consistency.
It is incredible consistency, and that will pay dividends in a longer race like tonight. And he has improved his PB, but not enough to get Ben, so
That's a good lap there from the championship leader. 5.222.
it is a good lap from the championship leader. He's not the fastest in this session, but him and Ben seem to have a bit more of a gap on what they had on Steve last week, but we will see what plays out in the race.
Waiting for a few guys to complete their laps. We go into quali.
Excited for this qualifying session, Cole? As always.
Should be going to quali now.
Here we go.
Who's your tip for this 15-minute session, mate?
You know, I'm going to go with Cuz again. I reckon that he'll get the job done. He's done a lot of practice around here, and it's a strong track for him, and he was strong last week. I reckon he will get the job done.
Yeah, it's hard to put it past him. It's got great consistency here. Good form from last week. I think he'll get the job done too.
That said, though, I still think Ben's going to put a pretty large challenge up to him in this session.
Most definitely.
So we'll see everyone lining up at the end of pit lane. I'm just trying to see who is going to be the first car that's going to lead us out.
Might be Dane.
Maybe Dane.
Go. Got the green light.
The green light. Oh,
Oh,
that is going to be Dane. We can get him on the camera. So a few people have stayed in the pit lane at the start of this session.
15-minute quali, you don't really have to rush. I mean, myself, I like to get a lap done early and let the session flow on, but you can wait if you want, but you run the risk of if you stuff up a lap, you're starting further back, so.
Exactly right, and unlike main series though, these guys don't have limited tyres, so they've really got unlimited runs to have a go, so there's really no disadvantage to going out early.
Yeah.
You might as well just
go out
and see how you can go and run out the whole session. We got to think about how many tyres we've got left for the race, so.
The advantage with Super 2 as well, they get an extra 5 minutes in quali over us in main, so luckily for them.
We just had in the live chat that Luke Rosales has been for pole surely, we'll see. I'm going to go on board with Dane and I'm not going to pick that camera, I'm going to pick the on a view. We've seen this track a bit. We'll have another look. Down at turn 1, you brake about the 150 board and see how he takes the corner. I double apex this corner, but he's going to hug the inside. Going out a bit wide on exit. So turn 2, 3, and turn 4, and down into turn 5. And up to the valley into turn 6. Pretty clean lap so far from Dane.
The headlights on.
Does have the headlights on, so I think it's a good one. Through here, this tricky little corner. Brody's put his money on Brap out of nowhere for pole, and Thomas McMillan's put his money on Peter Stenberg, so
These guys are throwing away money, I think.
I think they may be. See what lap time Dane does as he sets the first up of the session. He's going to do a 7.668, so that's not a bad banker for him, and Brap has just pipped him immediately. We'll see what these other guys do, but I reckon that yeah, Ben's gone to the top immediately with 6.2, but still that's a lot slower than what we saw in our practice session, so he's still a second away from the number that he's set.
He's very close to Latino here. Oh, he's backed it off.
He's backed it off,
I
yeah.
was gonna say, like, it's a bit close to be following someone in the qualifying lap.
Yeah, I think he started his lap quite close to him, obviously, because he caught him.
6.2, we're about a second away from where we were, so.
Here we are, we're 1.1 away, which is quite strange, because you'd think the track would be getting better, so.
Track temps have come up, or air temp maybe.
Not 100% sure, but we'll see. I'm expecting the numbers to fall quite a fair bit. I'm just trying to see if anyone is on a good number. Latino is on a good number according to my live timing. He's a mile off, so he's 7 tenths up on Benjamin's time, so we'll see what he does as Steve Warwick goes into the wall. Latino lowers the mark to a 5.5, so he's now our pole sitter. Keep my eye on the timing screen. We've seen Thomas McMillan's got a 12-leg multi on this race. Apparently, I don't know what he's been betting on and what markets are available, but I
don't know what app he's on, but pretty sure there isn't the same race multi.
Yeah, and I don't know how he's betting when he's only got $1.90 in his bank account, but you know, I suppose you got to put your money where your mouth is.
Maybe he's betting on a Spanish betting app and transferred it to pesos.
Potentially.
Cuz goes up again to the middle.
So he's up as a middle sector. He was down to the first, so. purple.
line.
Actually, was purple to the middle sector as well. Yeah, he's gone faster,
There you go.
so he went purple to the last sector as well. So as Benjamin's now pipped him, but Benjamin didn't go purple, and Benjamin went purple in the last sector, but not in the first two, and he's run very wide there. So interesting. They're showing their speed in different parts of the track. Neither of them had a very good first sector on that lap though, so still a bit of improvement as we see Aiden Sykes is around. I'm going to catch that, see if I can get a replay, and I can't for some reason. Where the hell is it? We've just completely missed that somehow, so I think he may have left the server. So with whatever he's got going on, as we watch Steve Warwick. And we're looking to improve a little bit.
Oh, big mate coming off the road.
Yeah, that was Dane Ricciardo off the road, and he's come back on, and hopefully he doesn't walk
Just off into the pits.
over there, so he's gone to the pits.
Oh, Benji.
Oh, that's a big crash. It's a bit of a mistake there for Benjamin re-entering the track, and yeah, it's caused a bit of a shun. I'm going to get a replay of that from Benjamin's point of view, so just come out the lane, he wouldn't have even been able to spot him at that, so he's just hit that wall, and
Yeah, I think that's gonna cause him a penalty there.
could be. That's a bit of an unsafe exit to the pit lane there. He's going to
Leaving
come
a
out and
lap.
have another go. Brody reckons that Thomas McMillan's borrowed his money from Kugli. So, I don't know when we know that Lewis Kugli's not the best for payout. So we've heard from our main series commentators. And Luke Rosell is asking Thomas if he's got the power play on his bet.
Just want to mention out there that everyone should gamble responsibly.
They should. Yeah. They really, I mean, you'd be a good advocate for that, Cole.
Let's not talk about that at the moment.
Yeah, we won't talk about that, but George Dane Ricciardo, I'm pretty impressed that he's in P4 at the moment. It's been a pretty good performance by himself.
Yeah, it is. It's good to see.
He's a newcomer
6.5 is a respectable time.
newcomer to us at Eastern Creek, and he's he's definitely improved out of sight in the last couple of rounds. So that's helped these guys that are new getting 2 runs at the same track, so they can fix their mistakes in the race from last week this week. Click and try. I don't really see anyone lighting up my timing screen at the minute, but
Seems everyone's
my timing
doing
screen
an
does
outlap.
tend to be broken at times. As we
Oh.
see, Steve Warwick's gone around. It's a weird spin.
Hang on with that.
He's struggling a bit tonight.
Yeah, I caught up with him earlier. I mean, obviously we live in the same household, so I am going to catch up with him. But yeah, he's been a bit frustrated today. He just hasn't got the headspace at the moment. So
It's not
told
really
him
good.
to take a break and have a think and go from there.
Thomas McMillan in the chat has just told us that Poiter has improved to a 107.3, so that's a pretty good lap from Peter Stenberg.
It is.
So he's
P8?
having another strong performance, but I'm sort of not surprised by that. It's got a big lag. Oh dear, what happened there?
Somebody joined.
Somebody must have joined the server, and it's caused quite a large lag spike. We'll see if we can get a replay of that. It's a weird crash. Oh, yeah, there's big lag there. That's
Back to the Future stuff there.
yeah. That car just took off. So
I think he was doing 88 mile an hour.
I think he may have been doing 88 mile an hour.
Just holding it and then all of a sudden, yeah, take off. a bit quiet at the moment. There's cars on the racetrack, but no one's going much faster. Dodger does some lawn mowing.
Was he doing some lawn mowing, was he? In the
He
background
was,
of the
yeah.
shot? So I'm keeping an eye on the timing screen. Nothing's really happening at the minute. No time from McLeanbite or Aiden Sykes yet, so they're yet to appear on the time board, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Gaiden just rejoined not too long ago.
No,
Which caused that lag spike.
Lachlan around. I've just noticed Benjamin D'Alia is purple to the first sector, so we're going to watch him.
Here we go. I wonder if one of these guys can get into the fours.
Would be interesting.
Oh,
A 4 would
that's
be a
not
very impressive lap time from a Super 2 runner.
I know Cuz dabbled with it. He reckoned he could do it last week. He put the perfect lap together, so it'd be interesting to see.
Looking at the splits I'm looking at, I can see that a 4 is definitely possible for either Ben or for Cuz. It just needs to be put together.
Yeah.
So he doesn't improve. That was a really good first sector though there from Ben, so maybe he might be able to put it together, and he's just, as I say that, he's run wide at turn 1 and completely screwed it. So that's kind of like a commentator's curse, I guess.
I guess you could say that.
Still not far off his time, but like, considering that's a very scrappy first sector. So we'll stay on
He
board
just
with
needs
him.
to take a step back and just drive a smoother lap, and he might find a lot of time.
He's driving it very much on the ragged edge.
He's actually up. It'll be an interesting time.
Yeah, he's purple to the middle sector.
Might
so...
even be a 5-0.
Oh, he's improved, only
Oh.
just.
Yeah, the last sector cost him a little bit.
Yeah, so good lap time there from Benjamin, but as we know, both him and Cuz can both do ones around here, so we'll see if they come out. Just gonna keep an eye and see what his first sector split is. This lap, oh, he's miles up.
Oh.
See, so this could be our pole lap.
It's up there with some of the best main split first sectors. So that's
Yeah.
very impressive.
Very impressive first sector, so hopefully he can keep the lap together here. Well, he's lost a bit of time in the middle sector.
Oh, that's going to cost him.
That's going to cost him a fair bit.
Might improve slightly, but good exit off the final corner.
He improves
Yeah.
to a 1, but yeah,
There's definitely a 5-0 in that.
this definitely is. And he sprayed it off at 1. Could be the end of his session unless he gets out to do another lap. I see RSM Latino is now coming out for another run.
Get one lap.
I had Ethan Warren ask, is Max Verstappen racing? No, Max Verstappen is not racing. Just to clarify.
Claimbite has a lap time now, but
Yeah,
I don't
played by
think
has a lap time, so that's everyone with a time description.
that's representative of what he can do. I don't think that.
No, I don't think that's a representative
Parts
lap
of
time. I would focus on some other guys, but we've only got 40 sort of seconds left, so I reckon it's going to be the last ditch for Cuz to try and grab the pole off Ben. Steve Burko's a little bit back on these guys time-wise, but I reckon he'll be right with them in the race. I reckon he'll stay with these
Yeah.
guys.
Definitely.
It's really set out to be like it was last round with battle for the top 3 and a battle for the best of the rest for fourth back. He's up his PB, but not the first sector. But we know how good Ben's first sector was.
Yeah, that was an amazing first sector.
It is potentially, if he does the middle sector as good as he has, could be competitive. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him, and doesn't look like he's going to be able to do enough to improve that magnificent last sector. He's going to get dropped from the car ahead now. He's run it sideways in the last corner, so that'll be the end of any kind of considerable effort to get pole there.
Well,
So that's the end
good
of that
session.
Good session. Benjamin has walked away on top as there's a couple of people running, but don't think anyone's going to challenge anything considerably up the top. Can I just comment on the fact that between 4th and 9th we've got a second gap. So that's pretty impressive, and
Pretty cool.
Steve Warwick has actually moved up into 4th, displacing Dane Ricciardo.
He's actually about a second away from where he was last week, so it's interesting now. I'm not sure what's going on with the old man, so
Yeah, it's a bit strange. Hopefully he can find the pace, because it would be good to see someone challenge these guys further up.
very strange.
Very strange.
Moving on.
Moving on, we've got a little 3-minute warm-up session. It's up to you, mate. We can have a bit of a break, or we can talk
Yeah, we
about
can take a
what
break.
this race is going to be, because we can come back and go through the grid and get our predictions afterwards. So I think we might do that, and we'll talk about what we think this race is going to be on the other side. we're back here at Hidden Valley Raceway in Darwin for the first of our 2 short races here tonight for the round 9 of the Super 2 series. We've got Benjamin D'Alia on pole and we're about to start the formation lap. People on the GoPro cam.
I'm excited, mate.
So, I guess I'll take us through the grid. We've got Benjamin
Yeah, you can go this
D'Alia.
one.
He is on pole position, so bounced back from his performance last week with 2-time race winner last week and championship leader RSM Latino in 2nd place. Steve Brko in 3rd once again. He'll be looking to challenge these guys further towards the front with Steve Warwick in 4th. Dane Licciardo is in the 5th position. That's pretty good qualifying from him, with Matt Cecil managing to qualify on the 3rd row there in 6th. Liam Budd in 7th with another strong qualifying from Stenny in 8th. Lachlan Horan in 9th. Brap on his return in position number 10. Sid Goose on debut in 11th. Michael Pollard at 12th. Dodger has managed to qualify 13th with Aidan Sykes in 14th. And a claim bite off the back in 15th position. And that is our 15 runners. So, should be an interesting one.
Should be.
Hopefully everyone's calmed down a little bit from our last outings.
I'm excited for this race. Always do enjoy a V8 supercar race start. I think they're very exciting.
Should be pretty exciting.
Here we go, pulling up to the line now. Lots of 11s.
Lots of 11s, and this track has very big grid space gaps because the track builder did that. So it will be interesting to see it. If you've got pole here, you've got a pretty good advantage into turn 1.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go. Lights coming on.
Lockwood's been there from Ben. So he's not a very good start from him, and he's actually got a shocker. So RSM Latino is going to take the lead, and Ben's going to get swamped. He's going to lose a number of spots. Good start from Matt Cecil, who's put himself into 3rd position off the start. We're going to watch these cars further back, see what happens. But it's RSM Latino that's going to lead us through here on the opening couple of corners. So very good start from him. Very good start from the rest of the current top 3. As Ben has made it past Matt Cecil, we've noticed. Big dive here from Steve Warwick on Thingo, and we've got Aidan Sykes on the fence by himself. So I'm going to go up to the hairpin. Oh, no, Latino's run wide. So that's going to allow Brko to lead, and possibly even Benjamin D'Alia. He's got back up there. And Steve Warwick's now gone off. It's been a lively start, and we've got Brap around in the background as well. So yeah, keep an eye on up here. We saw Aidan Sykes went through the... He went through and cut the track. Steve Brko now leads this race, which is not what I would have expected, but yeah, a bit of big mistakes there from our other 2 front runners. I'm going to go back in the field though, because it's on here between Stenny and Liam Budd and others further back. And that's, who's off the road there? That's Michael Collin's gone off the road.
Start from everyone here, so
has, and it's been pretty clean now that we've got it all underway. Everyone's sort of cleaned up, and no Sid Goose is up to 3.6. That's pretty impressive on his debut run. So
rock up.
I'm going to just look at the front though. Steve Brko has a half-second lead over Benjamin D'Alia. I think this is going to be an exciting battle.
Oh, Latino again runs well.
Brko's already weaving to try and break the draft. I know from driving here, the draft is particularly strong on this front straight. So it'd be very hard to try and break that, and Benjamin's going to have a look.
Yeah, it was a bit silly from Brko to make it that extreme of a swerve, because you're actually slowing yourself down by doing that big of a swerve.
Yeah, you wash off momentum. It's probably better just to do a gradual sort of swerve if you're going to do anything, and not so aggressive because you scrub the front tyres. Benjamin's now going to...
On him deep there.
Sit here and bide his time. Having a big look at him. He's really got no rush to make this move.
Long time to go on tyres and whatnot. So.
There's a good battle for P4 and 5 as well between Matt Cecil and Dane Licciardo.
Oh, big wriggle there from Ben. Final corner.
That's Aiden Sykes in the pit lane.
Front three is showing their hand again.
Steve Brko with the fastest up the race. They are definitely showing their hand. I'm going to go back though. I'm going to look at this because we've got Matt Cecil and Dane Licciardo side by side battling for P4. Dane is going to get that spot, but that's very deep. But no, he's managed to pull it
Very
off.
good pass.
Very good pass there from Dane, showing that he's definitely coming to grips with this game and all the rest of it.
I'm very happy to see a lot of clean passing and good moves being put on.
Yeah, it's a big improvement from last week where we saw a lot of messy, scrappy driving. I'm just going to flick those through the field. So we've got Sid
as I
Goose
say
and
that.
Stenny. That's a bit of an aggressive move. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. We've got Steve Warwick in this as well. That's aggressive from Steve.
Yeah, that's a bit optimistic.
Then he's now lost the spot to Dodger because of that. So it's a bit optimistic, but the move's been done and he's going to drive away. Back up the front though, it's closing up again, and we've actually got Steve continuing to sort of run a bit of a defensive line.
5.8 there from Ben, so pace is coming to him.
Pace is coming. We didn't really see many 5s from the Super 2 guys last time we raced here, so...
That was mainly in the 6.1s to 6.5 range, so...
It was from these front runners, and sort of 7s from the guys a little bit further back, so... As we've seen the gap though, so these guys at the front have already pulled 5 seconds on the rest of the field, so...
Battle pack going on at the moment for 7th and 8th.
Yeah, I'm tempted to have a bit of a gander at that. I just want to see if Benjamin does get a run on the straight. He is pretty close this time. Steve continuing to run that. Nice, listen to us a bit. I think he's going to be vulnerable here.
Yeah, I think the move will be done here. Just needs to hang it there.
Oh, that's a big moment under brakes. I think Steve might be able to get the crisscross on him here, and here he is. Oh, they've run side by side. They've got a spun car there of Aiden Sykes.
There's a yellow flag, so have to yield that.
Oh, Steve's having a bit of a go back at him. We'll be interested to see. We know Benjamin isn't necessarily the greatest driver under pressure when he's got a car right up behind him. Once he gets out in front, he's very hard to stop.
Yeah, Steve just needs to sort of hang on to the back of him here and just crawl at him until a few laps to go, then go for it, I believe. So.
Well, if he can sit in the draft here on the straight, he might be able to even have a run back at the end in turn 1.
Needs to get a good run up for the last corner.
He does.
He does.
So.
It's interesting to see Cuz 1.5 seconds away.
He's been a bit inconsistent this race. He sort of struggled a little bit. He's definitely got to gain down that straight, but it's not
Close
really
enough.
been enough to do too much.
Still a tight battle pack for 7th, 8th and 9th there.
We'll flick back to the 7th, 8th, 9th battle pack. So we've got Pollard and Horan and Warwick. I'm assuming Warwick's going to come through and make these positions. He runs very wide.
I'd say he'd be a bit heated under the collar.
Oh, and he's actually gone
been.
around. Actually gone around, he's in the middle of the road there, so... Another disappointing evening from Steve Warwick, that's for sure, and we've got Sid Goose around the background as well, I think that is, so... Going to catch a replay, see what he did to himself. I'm assuming he did it to himself, he had no one around him, so... Yeah, he just lost it under the rear brake, so... Maybe a bit of tyre wear and that coming into it for these guys now, and... They're overdriving from the start of the races and paying off. As Steve Warwick's around again, and so's Brap. So I'm going to actually replay and see if I can see what's happened here.
Brap's one run wide.
They've literally just had their own crash. They've had to V-spin with one another.
Synchronised swimming, supercar style.
Yeah, so that's interesting from those two. Move back up the field. Still pretty close for 4th and 5th between Matt Cecil and Dane Licciardo, but we're going to go back to the front because Brko is still managing to hold on here to D'Alia. I'm surprised at the gap they've managed to pull on Cuz.
Yeah, that's big.
So
I'd like to see what Cuz' lap time's going to be this time around, whether he's made a mistake or not. There's a 5.9 from Brko, that's the fastest lap for him.
6.1 from
6.1.
Cuz, so... Do you think Brko will be stronger towards the end of this race? He is one that is very good on his tyres and all the rest of it. Good Brap that'll be speeding in pit lane, as I just saw him take a tour of the lane. That's been a good return for him. Oh, and Brko on the rear brakes
that was
there.
close.
He needs to just
Had to
back it
retire.
down a bit. Doesn't want to lose Ben, but he also can't afford to make too many errors and lose the back of him.
Ooh. Double hopped on the curb there. Ben's now pulled a tiny little gap. Yeah, 6.3 last lap. For
Yeah,
Brko.
it passes up at the race for RSM Latino on the last lap. So he's done a 5.8, so maybe he's taking it a bit easy at the start of this one. Maybe he's just coming to him, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I reckon not the lap just gone before, but the one before that, lap 8. I reckon he's probably made a mistake and lost the second. Because he was only 1.5 behind them, then it dropped out to 2.5.
Yeah,
Now it's back down to about 1.7, so... It'll be interesting.
Was a bit of lull in action from the front runners. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to have a look at the battle for 6th and 7th that's still on between Michael Pollard and Lachlan Horan.
Oh, very wide.
It's very wide. It's got a good exit from it, but... So these are some of our newer guys in the field. I've been impressed with the improvements by Lachlan Horan and Michael Pollard so far, and their couple of attempts in the series.
It's very good to see.
It's good. We've got, both of them made their debut in main series last week, so that would have put them in good stead for this return to this track. Lachlan does have the run here. We'll see if he has a go into turn 1. He's had a dive.
Big dive. It's definitely down there.
I'm going to run side by side over here, but he's... Oh! Big moment for Pollard. Going to go side by side through here. This is going to be interesting.
There you go. Oh!
Lachlan's backed out of it there. I reckon it's a bit of a smart play from him, and good clean racing between these guys. It's good.
It's very good. That's what we like to see.
It is exactly what we like to see.
I'm very interested though as to why Michael Pollard has a female, well, I'm just going to say it, tampon and pad brand on the roof of his car.
I hadn't actually noticed that, but I'll see if I can get a camera roll. I can't get a decent one, but I can't actually get a decent camera of that, but that is
maybe
interesting.
it's related to the Coles sponsorship.
Could be. He's got bigger cheese and a whole bunch of other things on that car, so maybe it is related. This battle between these two continues. The battle's actually on for 4th and 5th again as well. The front runners are all sort of spread out, but
yeah, roughly 2 seconds between 1st and 2nd at the moment. It's the best battle on track so far.
this is the closest battle of the race at the minute.
It is getting tighter between 4th and 5th as well, so...
Yeah, I'm keeping a bit of an eye on that, and I'm also seeing that I think Cuz is catching Steve Brko, so it might be on for 2nd place later on. Still a handful of laps to go. It's been a lot of that's deep from Haran, and he's did a really
almost
good job.
off the road.
Did a good job not to hit Michael then, and also not to run it off the road and not lose too much time. So pretty impressive.
Modulated the pedal very well.
He did. Good driving there.
These are all the learning curves.
Always all the learning curves. I'm going to flick forward a bit because this battle's on now for 4th and 5th. Noticed it's closed up quite a bit in the last few laps. See, Dane's one of our newcomers, relative, and Matt's got a fair bit of experience in sim racing, so probably managed to manage his tyres maybe a little bit better, and he's going to come back at Dane here in the later stages.
He's chewed the gap down a lot, so pretty consistent to his best lap as well.
Didn't necessarily qualify the best, Matt, based on his form, but he got a very good start, which has helped him vault up the order in this race. I think he started P6, but he was up to 3rd there off the start, so...
Yeah, quite lucky for Benjamin to gather it up and then come back through the start. Should probably be kicking himself about.
Yeah, it was as soon as I saw the wheel spin, I just knew that he was in big trouble. I mean, I said that it was pretty hard to lose it off pole here, but when you see smoke off wheel spin off the start in these cars, you just know that it's not going to be a good one.
Especially when it goes to about 25 to 30 metres or so.
Yeah, and you start seeing cars go past him. It's a smoke at turn 1, so curious as to what's happened down there. I think that's Dodger that's off the road, actually. Just flick forward because I'm just looking at RSM Latino. He is catching Steve Brko, putting pressure on him. And also the gap to Benjamin has also dropped.
I wonder if he's just managing that.
Benjamin had a 2-second gap over Steve, and it's sort of dropped.
It's only 8 tenths.
So it's only 8 tenths. So these cars have closed up again. I reckon Latino's going to be on here for a move in the next few laps. Well, there's only 2 laps to go, so I reckon...
He saved a bit of tyre here. This will be the start of the final lap now, so... Be interesting.
I reckon he's close enough to have a crack on this final lap.
6-7 from Brko.
There he goes, 2-turn 1, big dive. Oh, he's locked the brake. He's hit him. Oh, they're off the road.
Got to redress that.
He's redressed it, so...
Yeah, good man.
Smart driving there from Cuz, but will he be able to have another crack? Would have been a good move, but he just slightly pinched their brake and fed Brko off into the weeds.
Well, Ben can relax a bit now. He can drive at
Yeah, well, Benjamin's got this race won now, so didn't get a win last week, I'm pretty sure. So he's bounced back. We'll go and we'll focus on him. Wasn't able to
bring it home.
Wasn't
in the
able
66 car.
Yeah, wasn't able to crack the top step of the podium last round, but he's managed to crack it this. Oh, sorry, just in the background, it's livened up here, but Benjamiam D'Alia has won this race. Steve Brko is going to get P2 from RSM Latino in a close fight. Back to 4th, we've got Dane Licciardo and Matt Cecil.
Good drive from Dane. It's very impressive.
It was a good drive from Dane, I'm impressed with that. So that's been a very good performance from him and Matt Cecil in 5th. Liam Budd's going to come home in a very lonely 6th, but a good result nonetheless. With Michael Pollard running wide and losing 7th on the last corner here to Lachlan Horan, who's going to get the P7. That'll be Michael Pollard in 8th. Steady in 9th, with a pretty clean drive from himself. Claimed by...
lost the 1 spot.
Is in 10th. He did lose the 1 spot. Claimed by it up from his starting position. And Steve Warwick comes home as the last car on the lead lap, I'm pretty sure, with Dodger and Sid Goose and Brap all finishing multiple laps down, and Aiden Sykes our DNF of the night. So, exciting race, interesting result, interesting stuff that happened on the first lap. We'll see what happens when we go for the next one.
Yeah, great result there for Ben.
Certainly was.
Definitely needed that for the championship hunt again.
Certainly did.
Especially with Latino finishing 3rd. Pulls some points back a little.
So I'm going to restart. I shouldn't say that, but I'm going to restart the session so we can go back for this next qualifying session. So we get ready for our second qualifying session of the night. While the cars come out, I'm just going to give us a slight pause in action. We'll still keep the vision up, but we'll let you just observe for a few seconds. We'll focus on our race winner of last race, Brko and D'Alia.
Sounds good.
We're back here and we've got Benjamiam D'Alia, who's the first car on track, so he's pretty keen after his race win in the last race. Be looking to see what time he can do in this second qualifying session. Thomas
Here we
to
go,
start
first of
the
the lap.
first lap of the session.
Who's your tip for this session, Kurt?
It's hard to go past Ben after his pole in the last one and also his race win. Really is hard to go past him. He's putting on a bit of a charge in the championship, so see how he goes.
Alright, well, I'll go for someone different. I'll go with Kaz. Not that he's much different, but
Well, I think it's going to be between those two if it's anyone's going to get pole in this session.
he's coming up to the second sector now.
It's a
34.8.
pretty good lap so far.
He's a good banker.
2/10 off his personal best to the first sector of the last quali. So
I'd say the track hasn't come up
yeah, the
quite
track
to
will
what it
be
was with the last one.
will be reset again. So he's done a 5.4 though on the first lap, so that's pretty impressive. Cuz does a 5.9. Steve Warwick is a fair way off there. See the other people as they come through with their first laps. Brko's 7/10 down.
What does he do?
6.6. So he's
6.6.
way off the mark.
So track conditions caught a lot of people out.
Yeah, I'm gonna imagine so. It does change slightly.
See Steve Warwick now approaching the middle sector. He's up on himself. Still quite a fair way down to first place. As he touches the grass.
He's done that a few times tonight. It's a bit of a weird place to have a crash, so...
Common sight for that car tonight. In
Has
the
been a
fence.
common sight for that car tonight. Look at Peter Stenberg, he's currently up in 5th. So... Talking about Peter Stenberg, I believe that we've got his teammate as such in the box with us. Main game driver Thomas McMillan. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Thanks, Kurt. We're down here in pit lane as the qualifying session's just gotten underway. Going to walk into the number 15 Lachlan Aidan Sykes garage here. We believe he won't be able to make the second race here after his re-entry at turn 1 into Dane Ricardo, which has completely ripped the front end off the car, so they're packing up and then going back home. So we're also hearing reports we caught Matt Cecil driving outside of the track in a Holden Rodeo. So you've heard that here first.
Yeah, wow. So that's a bit of information that we didn't know. So thank you for that, Thomas. You got any insights to us on the Pleb Sim Sport crew as well?
So Stenny's out there. He's very comfortable in his car. Yes, the last race he did pretty well. He was struggling a little bit. He had a couple spins, but yeah, he got up to 9th. Good finishing position, and he's going to give it another crack for this qualifying session. So we'll see how he goes.
Well, thanks for that, Thomas. You enjoy being down there in pit lane, and we'll talk to you at another time.
Righto, thank you, boys.
Thanks, Thomas.
A bit of an insight there from Thomas McMillan. As we go back, and we're going to have a look at Ben, and Cuz has improved, and
Oh,
Matt Cecil's
interesting
up in
to hear that
yeah.
the Aidan Sykes car won't be making it back out.
Well, it was a pretty large impact that it had at the turn 1 exit, so you know, I mean, I'd be pretty demoralised if that's how my race ended. I'd be not wanting to come back out as well, to be honest. So
See Cuz now improve. It's only less than a tenth away.
he's only less than a
Track
tenth
will be coming
away.
up now.
Will be.
Yeah. See how he goes to this middle sector. Down a little. Find he'll come in here maybe. Fresh bags. Presses on with the lap.
So it's not too far off.
Oh, he brought it back a
He
bit.
did bring it back quite a fair bit, so I reckon there's potential here for a good time. He's just run off the road, so he'll be going out to and we've got Benjamin D'Alia back out on the track, so we'll have a bit of a focus on him. See if he improves his time.
To be on a fresh set of tyres, so see what the first sector's like. It's 22.4.
Yeah, so
Slithered in there a little bit.
pretty good first sector here for Ben.
I believe in the qualifying one he did a 22.389, so he just made an error there, so he'd been caught by traffic. So that first sector wasn't too far away from what he did previously.
No, it wasn't very far off his best first sector, so but he's screwed this stuff up a bit now. There's just Cuz is back out there. What's Brko going to offer up to us?
5898.
Look back a little bit at the other guys. So we've got Matt Cecil in fourth. And he's done a 6.6. So pretty close here in this midfield.
Too sure what's going on with Steve Warwick's car tonight. He was in the low fives last round and he's struggling to even get into the mid sixes here.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting. He's in the fence again, so not a good night for him whatsoever.
Might be an issue with his sim rig or something, not too sure.
Potentially. So I'm going to look at Ben because I've noticed he's done a 22.4 to the first sector on this lap.
Oh, that is on the limit to the middle.
Whoa, he's up just. 0.008.
Thanks for that scaping. Oh, he gets close to the wall there.
Does get close to the wall. And he doesn't improve, he's
Oh,
0.007.
0.007.
So, we'll have a look at and see if RSM Latino is able to improve.
Straight. Oh, nice sideways moment in the background there from Pollard. No, that won't improve.
No, it's not an improvement. What about Brko?
He's approaching something that he's way down.
Yeah, he doesn't have the
Starting
pace of
another
these
lap.
front two, so Benjamin's on a lap. He's up.
It's up again. Takes a lot of that inside curve.
He
Oh,
does. I've
yeah.
noticed a lot of these Super 2 runners use a lot of that inside curve. It's not something that I particularly want to hit massively.
This lap might be aborted.
Still was a pretty good lap considering that big mistake in the final sector. I think in his final sector wasn't very good on his best lap. As Cuz has actually gone purple to the middle sector, so there's a chance that he could put in a time to steal pole position here.
Here we go.
And he's done it to
Yes.
the top, just by 12 thousandths of a second. So pretty good job there from RSM Latino. We'll see if D'Alia can steal it back off of him. D'Alia's gone purple to the first sector, so
Oh,
that's a number.
it's juicy.
That is a number. So all that can really be said.
You nail the last sector, this could be in the 5.2s. Yeah, they... Oh, 5.1!
Yeah, he's come out and he's put an impressive number on the board, has Ben, so impressive effort there. That's going to be very tough to beat.
Far off from his first sector again, so 3 minutes remaining.
It's going to be tough to beat Ben now in this session, I feel.
Most definitely.
Pretty big effort
5.1 is
from Latino.
very big. He can do it though. We've seen him in the server during the week in the 5.1s, 5.0, so... And the pace is there, he's just got to get the lap done.
So Benjamin's a
As Steve Warwick now only goes 6/10 away, so he's found some form again.
He has found some form. He's almost challenged, done enough to challenge Brko there, so maybe he might, if he can put it together and not make mistakes, he might actually go alright in this one. Like, we've seen him at Eastern Creek challenge these guys at the front, but hasn't been a good run for him since SMP race 1, round 1.
Back out of this lap.
Who else have we got? We'll see if Tino's is a long way off the first sector. This is the issue, is Ben is so strong in the first sector that no one's going to be able to really claw that time back.
No. As you've seen then, Latino wasn't far off his personal best, but a long way away in terms of where Ben was to the first sector, so...
Latino is naturally stronger in the middle sector, but...
he's going to need a very big middle and last sector to be able to challenge pole. But, anyone can do it. It is him. Looks like someone's rejoined.
Somebody has rejoined. I'll just keep an eye on. I don't know if someone has rejoined.
Oh, there you go, Stenny. RSM Latino only 0.074 down to the first sector on Benjamiam D'Alia, so this is his best chance yet as he gets the car sideways. And
yeah, and he aborts the lap, so disappointing because it was a good first sector there.
What a shame. Be on the front row with Ben as the clock goes 0.
Yeah, if he can get a good start again, he might be a chance to challenge.
I just saw in race trim, he was the fastest car, so...
It's just all about maximising it and not running. If he hadn't made that error, he would have been pretty tough to beat.
Oh.
As we see in Licciardo and Dodger kind of coming together.
Well, that won't be an improvement, so I'd say the grid order's locked now. So, impressive again from Ben, and Cousin second.
Yeah,
Those two
Brko
showing their hand.
in third again with Warwick in fourth, which was good to see. He's improved.
Back in the 5 range, so... I have to have a talk to him after the race and see what's going on. I believe it's more than just a driver issue, so... Oh, Matt.
He's gone around at the end of the session.
Shouldn't have been driving that Rodeo before the session, as Tom said, so...
Looks like he's, he's trying to drive it like the Rodeo, because, he's put it in the fence. Well, now that we've got a bit of a lull, I think we take a little bit of a break and we come and reevaluate our thoughts after this little 3-minute warm-up session.
Back soon.
I don't know, do you want to? We're back here live at Hidden Valley Raceway in the top end for race 2 of round 9 of the Automobilista Supercar Super 2 Championship. We've got the same for the first 3 cars on the grid. And about to go underway for the formation lap.
Yeah, this should be an exciting race. Hopefully Ben gets a better start this race. Or for our sake, maybe not. So it's a bit of a competition. But as we head off onto the formation lap, I'll go through the grid. It's Benjamiam D'Alia off pole once again. In second place, we have RSM Latino, or Cuz as we know him. Third place is Brko, Steve Brko. Good effort there. Fourth is Steve Warwick, so double Steve on the second row. In fifth place we have Matt Cecil. In sixth we have Dane Piata. Seventh place is Liam Budd. In eighth place is Lachlan Horan. Ninth place is Peter Stenberg. In 10th we have Sid Goose, also known as Craig Laws. 11th place is Michael Pollard. 12th place Brad. 13th is Acclaim by, and rounding out the field 14th is crowd favourite Dodger.
Thanks for that, Cole. So it'll be interesting to see what happens off the start here.
Will be. It's a shame we couldn't get Aiden Sykes back on the grid.
It's a shame we couldn't get Aiden Sykes back on the grid, but we believe the team's packed up and gone home. The damage to both the Ego and to the race car.
Hopefully they get the car repaired in Townsville.
Hopefully they can. It's only next week.
Yeah, quick turnaround, which is good. See the guys now warming up tyres and brakes. Final steps. Here we go. We're starting to grid up now. The lights. I noticed last race that the lights, red light was held on for a while, so we can see how long it's held on this time. Waiting. I'm not in the green box properly. Here we go. Wait for the lights. All on.
Away. He's got a big wheel spin again.
Wheel spin.
He's a better
Good
start.
start.
Oh, a big crash in the background. That's Sid Goose. It's actually managed to somehow get away and be half okay. Good start from Matt Cecil once again, must be said.
It's actually up to the fourth place.
Latino's managed to hang around the outside, but I think Ben is going to hang on here. A bit squirrely there from... but a cleaner start this race. And watch as they come up here through the valley.
That's Stenny up to 6th place. That's a great start.
It's a good start from Stenny. He's pretty good at his starts, so it's good he's managed to get a good start. Oh, it's a bit of contact in the background. That's going to be Liam Budd around.
Gone around.
He's been turned around.
What a shame.
It's a bit of a shame, so he's been dispatched.
Brko all over the back of Cuz here, so...
Yes. Oh, Stenny's around! Oh!
Oh, that's right in front of the field.
It is right in front of the field.
Great job.
Very
Great
lucky
job.
that wasn't a safety car.
Great job.
Always.
Yeah, good job. Well
Good
done.
job to avoid that. We'll go back to the front. We're going to have a look at RSM Latino and Brko
I
here.
reckon Brko's going to have a look.
So do I.
Yeah,
the
Move
background,
early.
Steve Warwick's on Matt. Oh, run wide.
Once again, it's a long race, so just
It is, yeah.
taking a step back and
Oh, it's Brko that makes a mistake. I'm going to look back to 4th and 5th because we've got Steve Warwick all over the back of Matt Cecil.
yeah, I think this won't be a matter of if, it'll be when the move's done.
Saying that though, a lot of mistakes last round from Steve, and he's going to go at the last corner on Matt. Oh, he's given him a big hip and shoulder, and Big don't argue and just pushed him out of the way. So that's Steve Warwick up into 4th there, but
Pretty aggressive.
very aggressive. Oh, it's Brko sideways once again. It's all a bit subdued here. Yeah.
Yeah, the gap's sort of the same, so same as last race, just taking a third of difference.
Yeah, I'm going to look a bit further back though. We've got close battling here for 7th, 8th, 9th, and even 10th. So we'll see what happens further back here.
I'm noticing Sid Goose dropping down the order like his times. Must be in the lane or something.
Yeah, he's not had a great night with Sid Goose. I think he's had a bit of an accident there on the first lap and brought her into the lane.
Let's go a lap down.
Must be said, everyone's been a lot cleaner tonight, which I'm quite happy with. Not sure if it's a change of format or it's just everyone's had a race under their belt here, so
Yeah, well, other than that first lap incident at the hairpin there, I think that's really it. That will probably be penalised round. The sideways moment there from Colin.
that's a bit of a sideways moment. That's caught my attention.
Yeah, other than that, I don't think there's anything really to look at
Yeah, the
from
same.
our race control side of things.
Oh, last round where there was quite a fair bit to look at. Quite a fair few incidents. Been a bit more spread out here now. I'm going to flick back to the front. Slowly. Still, it's pretty spread out here at the front, but keep an eye on D'Alia, as he's now got a 1.1 second lead.
Yeah, he's got the fastest lap of the race as well, 5.818. Impressive pace. Already got 1.2.
It is impressive pace there from Ben as he continues to lead this race. I don't really see him being challenged too much in this race, but you never know what can happen. You never know if mistakes can be made.
In saying that, Cuz has taken 2 tenths out in that last sector, so
He has, and he's just... Well, Brko's done the fastest lap of the race, so they've all done 5.7s on that last lap, I'm pretty sure.
it's good pace.
So they're all very pacey at the minute.
Racing's a bit stale at the moment, there's no real
It is,
massive
I'm
battle
gonna
packs.
look look a little bit
Well.
further back and see what I can find. It's about a second between everyone, to be honest. Not a lot going on the track. I'm going to look back though, because I think Stenny and Brap are reasonably close.
Perhaps starting to crawl him in.
He's starting to crawl him in.
5-6 from Brko.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. So Brko's on a bit of a charge here. So there's every
Say,
chance that... Oh, and that's a big mistake there from Stenny, and Brap's followed that.
That's a Super 2 race lap record there.
It is. Oh, Stenny's off the road again. Oh,
Oh!
not been the best of races for Stenny in this one with that little crash by himself, but he's had a pretty good run at Hidden Valley. Then just a bit of an off race for him.
I think Thomas McMillan to get on the radio and tell him to just take a step back and just finish the race here. Claw the points.
D'Alia's got traffic from Sid Goose, who's just spun it in front of him, so that would have been pretty distracting.
Oh! Brko had a moment in the background there too, so... See what the lap times are this time around. .59. All pretty much in the fives that lap, so... Oh, Ben has a massive lock-up.
He does. And Brko's close back in on Latino.
Yeah, 8 tenths there now.
Sid Goose has DNF from the race after that latest incident.
That's unfortunate. His first race in the series.
It hasn't been the best of nights for him, but hopefully it's a learning curve that he can use for future rounds.
So it's tightened up again, 7th and 8th place.
Has
Horan and Pollard.
We'll have a look at that. Yeah, Horan and Pollard. So this battle's on again between these two. So I can hear the car in pit lane. I believe that is Peter Stenberg. He's taking repairs to his car.
Yep, he's in the lane. Heading back out.
Here comes Pollard down the inside into turn 1.
He's broken later, that's a lot later. He's got it stopped.
Oh, and
Oh,
big
great
move from
save.
Good save from Horan there. I thought he was going around. I thought he was in the fence. So
It's yellow flag.
there is a yellow flag. So I'm going to have a bit of
Yellow
a...
flag. Well,
It's Matt Cecil. Matt Cecil's had a
Cecil.
moment. So he's now going to be vulnerable to Pollard.
He's got a puncher.
He's actually got a puncher. We can get to Matt. It's off the road. He's got a puncher there. So this really disappointing. I'm going to get a replay and see if we can catch what's happened. He's big error under brakes. He's run it wide here and he's just looped it back into the fence.
He's done the old Macaulay Jones.
Oh, and that's enough to puncture the tyre apparently. So we'll see if it is punctured. We'll be able to tell through here. But no, it might not be punctured. It might have just locked her up again. But disappointing there for Matt. He'll have to try and get those spots back now.
He's just got to calm himself down a bit
Yeah.
here and try and ignore the shutter.
I just have noticed it's closed up towards the front, and RSM Latino has managed to close in the gap to Benjamin D'Alia to only half a second now.
It's getting spicy. Oh, his Brko's off the road.
But he is off the road. So he's just shortcut that, and we don't have a lot of on track, so I'll replay it.
Interesting. Just caught it in the background. He must have just... Yeah, he's touched the grass.
Yeah, on
Under
entry,
brake.
and he's just shortcutted it to avoid having a further issue. So it's going to hurt him. He's fallen off the back of these guys now, and Unleashes,
I noticed Steve Warwick's dropped
yeah, I've
behind.
noticed Steve Warwick has dropped
Dane,
behind
so
Dane as well, so
That must have been an error there as well.
he's in 4th, and in the background, I reckon Matt Cecil's going to catch those next two back up after recovering from his accident.
So I wonder what happened there to Steve.
Not sure.
He had a big gap.
He did have a big gap. I'm imagining it's happened quite a few laps ago, but or a lap or so ago, so probably not going to be able to catch it. But we'll have to ask him about it. We've got a lot to ask him about later on. This gap is now back out a little bit again, but there's Mr. Brko getting out of the way.
Six four from Cuz. Long way off 5-7.
So 5-6-2. Yeah, it's interesting.
The tyre wear's definitely there.
Yeah, considering these guys only got normal tyre wear, so it's affecting him. I'm sorry, I'm just cutting back because we've got a battle on here for P2. Dane Licciardo is going to defend this one, and probably rightly so. Probably doesn't have the pace of Steve, but he's put on a good show tonight.
And you've just got to be patient.
Steve does just have to be patient.
With a little bit more pace, just got to be patient. We both know what he's like. He's very aggressive, so
He is very aggressive. Oh, aggressive! Oh my! There's a big lock-up mistake there from Steve, and he's put it round.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with him tonight. He's just driving a bit stupid, to be honest.
Since he won that race, mate, he's just really, his head's just been aggression, and he's got to turn it back a bit. It's a lot of silly driving, a lot of silly mistakes. So we see that Matt Cecil's putting pressure on Lachlan Moran, and Steve Warwick's going to end up in this battle. Oh, and Steve's gone around, so yeah, he's probably done damage to that car. I can go back to him and see if he's recovering.
It'll be the tyres.
Yeah, it'll be the tyres. Anyway, Matt Cecil's side by side with Moran, so I'm going to keep an eye on this for the second. And Matt's comfortably down the inside, so it's a good clean pass done. So good pass by Matt, he's back up into P6.
Massive lock up from Matt.
He's struggled into that corner tonight.
Oh, Graham gets sideways.
And Rand's been a bit sideways out of there as well tonight. It's spread out now between everybody.
Even the guys at the front, there's 2 seconds between each, so be all about finishing here, just finishing your race, doing any silly little errors, trying to overdrive.
I think Bud's had a quiet night. He's really been in no man's land all night. Must be said. We've got 2 laps to go and not a hell of a lot to talk about.
No, there isn't, so I mean, it's obvious at the front. The front three have just run away again. The only change has been between Cousin and Brko.
We'll have a bit of a...
really well tonight.
We'll walk back to the front and we'll have a bit of a go through, but so we've got a bit of a lull. Yeah, dominant drive from Benjamin tonight. Really bounced back from last round. He didn't get a win, but he got 3 podiums. Decent night by Cousin there in P2. It must be said. Not as dominant as last round, but it's still been a decent result. Brko holding on to 3rd, as it was last week, with the 1 win that he managed to get. But really impressed with Dane Licciardo tonight. I reckon he's probably the rising star of the evening.
Most most definitely.
Fair bit of an improvement from last week.
Be the BP Ultimate top performer.
I would agree. Michael Pollard's had a good race to be in P5 here. He's had a bit of a quiet one.
He's up, what, 5 spots, so good effort.
Matt Cecil's in 6th and probably hasn't got any plan in this race as he'd like, but he had a good first race, so... We've got Lachlan Horan in 7th, and he's now starting to get under pressure from Liam Budd.
Oh,
I'm gonna
definitely be pressured. Sideways moments like that. I've just heard from the cockpit, Steve's gone around again. He's actually DNF.
Oh, that's disappointing for Steve. We'll see if we can get him on that. Oh, it's a nasty, nasty bit of contact there, so... Been a very disappointing night for Steve. He'll be looking to bounce back next round because he's had pace at times, but really just not showed a lot this round. It's
No,
really the nicest way to put it.
he had the pace to be in the top 3, just hasn't had it tonight or even last week. So
Liam Budd has got that move done on Lachlan Horan, but we are going to go back to the front because I do believe that Benjamiam D'Alia is starting the last lap.
I think he's won the race.
Where has he won the race?
Yes, he has.
He has won the race, so yep, and that's RSM Latino in 2nd with Steve Brko 3rd, Dane Licciardo in 4th. Pretty impressive result from him, with Michael Pollard in 5th, Liam Budd in 6th, and we've seen Matt Cecil crash in the background. Lachlan Horan is 7th. Matt Cecil is going to lose 8th place to Acclaim by it, and Matt Cecil's going to come home in 9th. With Dodger going to go claim a top 10, so that's a good result from Dodger. And all the Dodger fans out there. Yep, up from the back of the grid. Brap is in 11th, a lap down. Stenny in 12th, a lap down. And Steve Warwick and Sid Goose are our DNFs. And Kurt Stenberg broadcast. So, entertaining evening of racing.
Very. Very entertaining. I mean, it was a very dominant display from Ben.
Was a dominant display from Ben, but he didn't have it all his own way. He did have the pressure put to him, and he did make the mistake at the start, but outside of that, that was really his only mistake of the evening, as the start and then losing those spots. So having a few people come in and join us now, we'll just fix up some shit. Just give me a sec before we go into some interviews. So, we've got some guys coming in there. We don't have Benjamin yet, but we've got RSM Latino, so we'll drag him up for a chat. Hi, Cuz, mate. 2 second place results tonight. Second and a third, rather. I'll correct myself. Not the dominant performance you had last time out in Hidden Valley, but still a good result. How did your night go out there?
Went pretty well, man. I'm happy with the result. I've got a new rig as well too, so I'm adjusting to the new rig as well too. The same problem that I think Ben had last week. So I'm it's not too bad, mate. I'm happy with the result.
That's good, mate. That's good that you did quite well considering you're adjusting to a new setup and everything. So congrats on the result. you were pretty strong out there. Didn't make too many errors. Benjamin seemed to have found some pace since last round, so it's a bit harder for you. But all round, you did pretty well.
Today, I think Benjamin was the pace setter, mate. So I'm happy for him and congratulate him as well too, man. He was very fast, and I wanted to have a bit of a go on the last few laps, but the tires were wearing out, and yeah, so it was a bit hard to catch him up.
Fair enough,
I was
mate.
hoping for him to do a mistake, but yeah, he didn't.
Fair enough, mate. Better just to conserve, get the points, and live to fight another day, I guess, and come back next round at Townsville and see how you go.
Of course, man. You know, you always. I'm always happy to be where I am at the moment. So, we'll get back in Townsville. Hopefully, we can get a good round out there. So, yeah, happy to be on the spot that I am. Thanks to RSM and thanks to you guys as well too. I really appreciate it, man, for putting a good broadcast, man. And hopefully, Car can recover soon, man, so he can join us back.
No worries, mate. Thanks for
Thank
that.
you.
And yep, I didn't know that about Carr, so we'll be looking forward to seeing him back soon. Been absent for a little bit, so
Yeah. Best wishes, Car.
best wishes to Carr, and yep, thanks to everyone at RSM for all they do, and good luck next round, Cuz.
I really appreciate it, boys. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Colin. Thanks, Kurt.
I'm going to drag up our dual race winner. Benjamin, 2 race wins tonight, pole position, or 2 pole positions, big recovery from last round. I know that you didn't have that bad of a round last round, but you're back to out the front and winning races, which is what we're expecting to see from you normally.
Yeah, good to be back at the front again tonight. It's good to get 2 race wins. It's what I need in this championship fight to close into Latino and Brko. I'm not sure how the standings are now, but hopefully keep pushing next time.
Yeah, mate. So, other than your start tonight, there wasn't really too much to fault. That start in that first race cost you with a lot of wheel spin. We called it as soon as we saw it. But then, so I think we lost you there on the mic a bit.
Oh, yep, sorry.
It's all good. But yeah, you lost that spots at the start there and managed to get them back. And from then on in, really the rest of the night, you were the man to beat and no one really got close to you.
Yeah, still getting used to this new clutch pedal. The way it feels just quite different, but got better in the second race. It still wasn't an ideal start, but I held the lead out of turn 1. So yeah, hopefully can just only get stronger.
Hopefully you can only get stronger with your starts. So on to Townsville next round. How do you reckon you'll go there? You reckon you'll be able to back up this performance tonight?
Oh, that's the plan. I've got to start cutting practice laps around there. Haven't done too much on Automobilista, but yeah, I enjoy that track everywhere else, so should be good, hopefully.
No worries. Well, we'll let you go and we'll talk to you when we get to there.
Thanks, guys. See you there.
Thank you.
So, 2 third places tonight for Steve Brko. Another reasonable result. You didn't quite have the pace of the 2 in front. Oh, sorry, it was actually 3rd and a 2nd. I don't know how I'm messing this up, getting cars and that confused. But 2 podium results. Didn't quite have the pace of Benjamin, but still good enough to be there or thereabouts with those other 2 at the front.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting in race 1. We had a pretty good tussle between us 3, and I ended up getting the lead and just making careless mistakes, and that sort of saw me go back to 2nd, and I was just like, nah, conserve mode, keep 2nd. And then that second race, wow, those guys, they just really put the foot down and left me. Even though I did set lap time, fastest laps, they were just that much faster, and I was like, well, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I think you actually set the fastest up of the race in that second race. So you definitely had the pace. It's just those guys were consistently faster. There was one lap there where all three of you did a 5.7 on the same lap, and I think yours was the fastest out of them, but just incredibly consistent from those guys in front of you in that second race, which didn't really help you stay with them. But yeah, first race you capitalised on the mistakes of both of them on the first lap, with Ben with the bad start and Cuz going off. But yeah, it was close there at the end though between you and Latino at the end of the first race. It was a bit of a drag race to the line, but you managed to hold on to second, so congrats on that. And yeah, good night all round.
Yeah, definitely. I'm quite happy with the result. Coming off 2 hours sleep, so pretty impressed. So
yeah, it's a pretty good effort from 2 hours sleep. So yeah, no, good race tonight, mate. And next we head to Townsville, and I believe that you're not too bad there at that circuit, but I'll let you tell me if you reckon you're going to go all right there or not.
I do like that track, but I think I may get caught out in the chicanes. But other than that, I've had a good result with other leagues there, so hopefully I can continue that, and yeah, hopefully I can get another race win.
Well, hopefully you can, mate, and we look forward to seeing you there next week, and we'll see how you go.
Thank you very much.
So I'm going to interview one more person tonight, just because he's our BP Ultimate top performer.
No, hang on.
Hello. Hi, Dane.
G'day. G'day, Pete. G'day, Cole. How's it going?
Okay, mate.
G'day, mate. Fourth place in that second race tonight, and good result all round tonight. You
Yeah.
had a good evening. You've been improving over the last few weeks, and we were just saying before tonight that you're our top performer. So, congrats.
Really?
How'd you find it out there?
Played around with the setup for the first time. It was kind of daunting, to be honest. Yeah, had a bit of a mishap with Liam Budd on the first lap, which I'm sorry to him about. But, there was nothing I could really do. So,
yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. That's racing. But you still recovered pretty well from everything that happened to get pretty strong performances, considering that's only you're only a few rounds into this series as a competitor. So
Yeah.
definitely improved from last week to this week. So it was good to see.
Thank you very much, Kurt. Yeah. Looking forward to Townsville.
Yeah. So you reckon you'll go right at Townsville? You done many laps around there?
No, I haven't done a single lap because I've been looking for the track and can't find it, which I'll look for again later. But
no
That's
worries.
right, mate. We'll get a link to you soon.
We'll get a link to you, and we'll help you. We'll sort you out with that, so you can do some laps for Townsville, and we'll wish you luck wish you luck for next week, and hope you can get a good result.
Yeah, hopefully I can get a podium, but I've got to step up the game just a tad more.
Yeah, those front three guys they're pretty quick out there. They're definitely setting the class of the field and at the minute, so it's going to be tough to get a podium, but we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
So that's a motor race that we've witnessed. That's 2 motor races, and that's a round of motorsport. So your thoughts, Cole, before we close, because we're going to be back here next week at Townsville and the week after. And I don't know if I'm going to survive, but I've already said.
Well,
I said at Pukekohe what I was thinking about doing to myself, and we haven't had any drama. So I'm sure I'll live through another 2 weeks of Automobilista on Mondays.
I think we can get through it. I mean, we've dealt with some pretty tough times here, as admins and race control and everything above. So usually when stuff happens now, we just giggle about it, whereas before we'd stress and pull our hair out. But
exactly right. So,
as we know, there's not much you can do. It's only a game, but it's good fun and it's good to provide for everyone. So
it's good to provide to everyone, and it has been good racing tonight. It was a lot cleaner tonight. The last 2 Super 2 rounds have been quite exciting with a lot of shit going on. Let's just put it straight out there. Lots of interesting driving. Where tonight it was good to see some good clean racing. It was a bit more spread out, but we actually got
Yeah.
to see some racing, and hopefully that can translate into tomorrow night. As we'll be back here again. Well, we won't be. We'll be on the track, but Stairs and whoever is joining him in the box, because it's not Mad Bird, will be commentating that tomorrow night with a bit of a different format. It's 19 laps again, but a 38 lap race, which should be spicy with the top 10 shootout, and a number of these guys from tonight will probably be joining us again. So interesting to see how the event changes for tomorrow, based on what we saw.
Yeah, I'm excited to have another steer. Last round was a bit costly for me. The graphics card was failing, so I just bought a new one, and I should go a lot better tomorrow.
Well,
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the format change. I think the longer race will suit me, especially with the fuel stops, because as we all know, I'm very good on fuel. So
yeah, that's definitely one of your strengths. Well, I'm looking forward to it as well, as I was pretty disappointed not to get a race win last round as a driver.
Yeah.
So I'll be looking to go out there and do that, although it's going to be pretty tough with some of the competitors I've heard that are going to be turning up. So maybe I might have to reduce that to a podium aspirations, but was a bit disappointed with my result last round, and then really the format with the hard tyre sort of hurt me in that last event. So, but that was a good format change, and we're going to have another format change, as I say, tomorrow night with the 19 lapper again on the softs, which should be a nice introduction into a longer race, a more traditional sort of race for our series in the for race 2 of that night. So we'll suit different drivers. We'll provide a bit of strategy differences. So hopefully we can see a different result, and but still see the close racing that we've seen over this previous 3 events that we've now had at this track.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to getting behind the wheel and having a good crack. So it should be good.
Well, I don't think there's too much more to be said. Well, everyone who wants to have a gander, we'll see you tomorrow night for Hidden Valley. Otherwise, us two will be back here next week for Townsville for another bunch of races and some more action.
Definitely. See everyone then.
Well, I've been Kurt Stenberg, because my name still hasn't changed, and you've been Colin Warwick.
Yeah, I hope so.
And that's a wrap. So, see you in Townsville.
See you there.